Here we have a pre-owned 2018 Toyota Avalon. This one comes in the limited trim level in midnight black metallic. And then we have almond perforated leather interior. And our powertrain consists of a 3.5 liter naturally aspirated V6 engine that's made it to a 6-speed automatic transmission. And this car right now has 47,629 miles on it. So we're gonna see how it's held up. Coming around the front end here, we do get our LED daytime running lights, headlamps. Great look there. And I still think the Avalon is just absolutely a beautiful, stunning car. It's like right in between a Camry and maybe like a Lexus LS, something like that, just in terms of luxury features and just overall amenities that you get with this car. Just a little bit of road rash on the front bumper here, nothing bad though. You really can't notice it unless you're looking for it. Coming around to the side here, we get this multi-spoke 18-inch aluminum wheel, which I love that look. Now we get passive keyless entry on the front doors. Over here to the door panel, we have our memory seat function, so just hit set the number. You have two different settings there, and then you can just recall them by pressing either button. And we do have our power mirror controls, so we can offset them in the middle there, and then we can adjust either side using that dial. Rear window locks here, power door lock controls are here, and then one-touch automatic up and down windows on all four doors. And I like how they kind of two-tone the door panel here. We have that almond that matches the seat, and then we have that dark brown bolster there. It's a really good look in my opinion. We get the premium JBL sound system. And then over here we have our forward collision alert. We can adjust that gap there. Traction control, blind spot monitors, and then we have the rear shade as well as the trunk release there. Little storage cubby there. There's the hood release. We have a foot pedal parking brake, so just press it to engage it and then press it again to take it off. And then here's our power driver's seat. We get 4-way power lumbar support, and then we also get power thigh support. So it takes it a minute, but you can just pull that back and forth to get it going. Well, let's go ahead and check out the rear seat room. I have the seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs. So let's see how I can sit behind myself. So pretty good leg space here. Where the seat's so wide, especially where it comes up here, if it were up a bit more, my knees wouldn't be touching the back here and I'd be good to go. But still, where there's so much space behind here, especially if I'm not using the center seat, even having a wider stature here, the seat is so wide itself, I'm still not even touching the middle. So I'm pretty impressed by that. And then here we have our rear AC vents. And we do get rear AC controls as well. So it's not automatic, but we can adjust temperature there. And then we can decide if we want to turn the control on or off. And then we have one-stage heated seats for the outboard seats. And then down below here, there's a 12-volt. But I like that we get the seat back pockets on both sides. And then we can fold this seat down. Cup holders are there. And then we can make a little slot there to go to the trunk, so we have that access. And then for the grab handle, we can hang 2 plastic hanger hooks or several metal hangers on there if we want to. Well, let's go ahead and make our way towards the back. So there's the gas cap there. Takes regular, no problem. And as we come around to the back end here, I love this look as well, along with the dual exhaust. There's a quick look underneath the vehicle. And then this rear bumper just has a few scratches from probably missing the actual trunk space itself, trying to get something heavy back there. But I do like that we have a little guard here to keep all the nicks and scratches off. And the release for the trunk is right there. You can pop it from the front if you want to. But there is the trunk space. And I like that we have the access even though we can't necessarily fold the rear seat down. And then our spare is underneath the jack and whatnot here. If you can see the tread there, I can't lift all of that at once with one hand. And then another interesting point, it's small, but it's helpful, is that we get the LED license plate lights. And then we have our side rear airbags as well. So I always like having those. Just an extra layer of protection. And then child locks, we can toggle those on either side there for the back 2 doors. Now to this front passenger seat, we do have a power seat back, seat bottom. We only have 2-way power lumbar up here though, and no power thigh support, which is fine. We have a lockable glove compartment here, and all the owner's manuals are such are in there. Not too much glove compartment space, but that's fine. And then we have our tire pressure monitor reset, and then we can cancel the trunk opener right there. And as we come around back to the front where I hit that hood release, I'm just gonna pull up there. And there's that 3.5 liter V6, mostly covered up, but it's underneath all of that. And hydraulics are still in great shape here to hold the hood up. But let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat. So a nice leather wrap steering wheel here. Pretty good shape, probably about I'd say about an 8.5 out of 10. Just a little bit of fading there on the top if you can even see it. But for the most part, still in fantastic shape, and of course still feels perfect. But over here to the radio, we do have our AM, FM, XM along with Bluetooth audio. Then we have a USB aux input and also a CD drive right in there to go with this JBL sound system. And you hit the apps, you can go through everything you have here. So XM traffic, weather, we do get that navigation system there, and then to type in a destination, you can use a point of interest, an address book, search, whatever, or you can just type in the address, use it by city. It's a little cumbersome, but it's not too bad. It can be quick. And then of course you can set up your presets here if for whatever reason you travel a lot and you just need to get back home. So it's nice to have those available instead of having to type it out every time. And the system itself is pretty fast if you want to just find a destination or mark something, zoom in and out, all of that. Not a lot of lag time. And then our settings are in here. We can go to our general settings and we can change the language, the units of measurement, weather units, and then a few other options there. And then you can always just set it back to default. But the map card is right in there. Volume's here, and then you can turn the audio off there. Then we have a tune knob here, and then you can go through your tracks, whatever there. And then I like that we have a quick shortcut for your Bluetooth right there. Now backup cameras here, I like that we have the guidelines. So those follow you as you turn the steering wheel. And then we can adjust our clock at any time here. So if you want to go to hours, minutes, you want to change all of that, you can do that. But on top of that, when you're not using the clock, you do have your dual zone automatic climate controls right here. So you can just turn that auto mode on and off there, adjust your fan speed, turn the whole system off, AC toggle, sync, close off the vents, and you can adjust either side there. And I like that it kind of enlarges whatever you're trying to use or makes more visible, let me put it that way, so you can actually see what's going on. And then we do have a stow and go wireless charging pad, which I love. So when you're using it, just have it there. And then when you're not, you just throw it back in there and you have access to a USB port, aux input, as well as your 12 volt. And then additional storage as well. So what you can do is just put something there and use this as a hideaway, so one might not think that there's something underneath here. Now for the shifter, just hit the brake, pull, reverse, neutral, drive, and then you can come over here to manually shift, or you can use the paddle shifters behind the steering wheel if you don't want to use the shifter. And then you can lock and unlock your 3-stage heated cooled seats. So you can turn those either which way. And then again, I like that it kind of shows you on the screen there where each seat is in terms of the setting. But bottle holders here, drive modes are here, eco, normal, sport. Center console cubby space, we have a removable tray, so we can take that out or just put it in, and then we can slide that back and forth there. So pretty good space in there for a large car. Garage door transmitters there, sunglasses holders here, and then here we have our sunroof controls. So we're gonna slide the shade back, and then we're gonna see how far the roof goes. And again, you can tilt it if you want to. And I like that it goes all the way back with a second touch, and about 90% of the way back, one touch. There's a view of the back seat from up here. Hazards are right here. And then behind the steering wheel, turn signal stalks there, low beams, auto, daytime running lights off, and then we can do all of that there. And then to the right side, we have our windshield wiper controls. We do have automatic wipers, so there's our mist there, off, auto, low, high, and we can adjust the auto sensitivity here. Pull up here for the front wiper fluid. And one thing I did forget to show is that rear shade, which is still in perfect working condition, it seems. And then to the left side of the steering wheel, volumes there. We can go through our track list radio station presets when applicable here. See if I can pull that up. So that'll go through your presets, and then you can use these to tune and this to go through the presets themselves. So it's pretty cool setup. Hit this mode button, you can go through all of your sources, or hold it to mute, then use this as a back button for the actual system. And then you have your Bluetooth controls here, voice recognition, and then you can go through your actual display here. Now the display controls are interesting, but pretty much has everything you need. And then if you want to hold the display button, you can actually go through the different settings and then tap through and then hold it to actually change the setting. So again, you get used to it, it's not too bad. And then the lane departure, you can toggle that there, and then that forward or the adaptive cruise gap is right there. And then you can turn the radar cruise on and off there, or hold to go into the regular cruise, and then you can adjust speed there, cancel here. And then you can adjust your brightness for the gauge cluster right in here, and then click this to pull up the trip meters, or just have everything off. Then here's our push button start. Here's the key fob. And now let's take this Avalon Limited out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this Avalon, I love how powerful the V6 feels, especially with the 6-speed automatic. It's not necessarily, I should say, fuel efficiency is not its #1 priority when you give it throttle. I just have it in normal mode here. Feels a little bit better than the IS350F Sport I just drove, honestly, just in terms of pickup. Now I have the sport mode engaged here. And feels similar. The shifts feel a little bit faster. But I'm gonna use the paddles and we're gonna see how quick it is. Downshifts are pretty good. And even in the manual mode, it tends to want to do its own thing in sport mode. So when I told it to shift up sooner than sport mode would have, it still waited. So take that for what it is. And I did forget to mention, we do have a manual tilt and telescope steering wheel. I didn't touch on that, but the latch is right there. But we're gonna turn on the radar cruise, pull the gap back. And the cruise is a bit slow to adjust. A lot of adaptive cruise systems, when you get them going, and the car that was in front of you that was slowing you down gets from in front of you, it picks up relatively quickly, but this was in no hurry, which I just find interesting. Now it's showing our current fuel economy at 40 miles per gallon here. Now, of course, we're leveling out, but you can expect to probably get close to 30, I would think. But of course, with this being an Avalon, the ride quality is pretty stellar. The steering is light, and most people that are in the segment of this vehicle are going to appreciate how it drives. Now, I still have it in sport, so I'm going to give it a little throttle coming out of this corner. That pull is incredible. Very impressed. Very impressed. And with it being a front-wheel drive car, it does pull you instead of feeling the power push, which makes it feel that much faster. But that was pretty fun. I'm gonna put it in eco mode now, and that's gonna dial your throttle response back, just how the car shifts, all of that. But I think for the money, this is still bringing around, I think, 30,000, which isn't a bad price. Now, with it being a, what is that, like 6-7-year-old car, you might be a little skeptical of paying that much for one, but again, it's a Toyota, so you have that reliability track record. Even though it is an 18 and you still have your radar cruise control, blind spot monitors, the navigation system, heated cooled seats, so it's a pretty well optioned vehicle overall. And I do like having the 6-speed as opposed to the 8-speed, just because it allows you to put your foot down and really feel pull, as opposed to the transmission trying to go through those 2 extra speeds, which a lot of the times they have trouble doing. Specifically just the 8-speeds from Toyota. I think Chevy's 8-speed has a little issue there. Most 8-speed transmissions I've dealt with, other than, I think Hyundai's is actually really good in terms of just shifting. But the 6-speed here is it's a tried and true transmission, I think, for probably, what was it, from 2008 to about 2018, 20, depending on what car you had, what manufacturer you bought from. And it's a quick transmission, and you don't have to go through all those gears to pick up speed. But a great riding car, I think a great driving car. You get pretty good fuel economy when you want to, and pretty good performance when you want to. So this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2018 Toyota Avalon Limited.